Something that you do, but you don't rush. Something that you want, but you need it more. You've got it in your heart, but your mind's blown. You know that you can try, you're getting so close. It's something you can do with your hands. There's something about the way you evolve. It's hard for them to understand. Just keep on playing to your song. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Tell me, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel your dancing with the whole world? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel your dancing with the universe? Dancing with the Everything you need is inside you. You just need to see what's in front of you. Don't listen to their words, do your own thing. Just listen to yourself and make it happen. It's something you can do with your hands. There's something about the way you evolve. It's hard for them to understand. Just keep on playing to your song. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Tell me, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel your dancing with the whole world? you hang up again, baby? I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby? I just can't be alone tonight. Ticking like a bomb, falling in motion, center of the stage, hoping that we'll be right. Back again. You gotta help me out, help me out. Riding coasters to dream your eyes. You gotta help me out, help me out. Swim in oceans to breathe your air. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. I can't tell you why. All I know is that I know I feel it deep inside. I couldn't shake this even if I tried. I can't tell you how. Something's telling me that if we walk away right now, we may never know what love is all about. Every rooftop talk, every stolen kiss, every late night walk, every secret wish, every second chance, every time we dance underneath the light of the street lamp. So
My car don't look like a phantom. I don't own that house in the Hamptons, and my 2 chains ain't gold at all. I can't buy you a diamond necklace. Being good with money takes practice, but somehow I don't mind at all. Cause no one's got what we got. We hit it up on rooftops. No matter what they say, we will do this our way. We ain't in it for the dollars, no. Just for the thrill of it. Nothing counterfeit with you. Just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it. Nothing counterfeit with you. Just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it. Girl, let me show you the paper. I can buy that house for you later, but you say you don't need that at all. This world is ours for the taking. Just me and you got me thinking. I swear we already made it. Cause no one's got what we got. We hit it up on rooftops. No matter what they say, we will do this our way. We ain't in it for the dollars, no. Just for the thrill of it. Nothing counterfeit with you. Just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it. Nothing counterfeit with you. Just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it. body moving. That beat, you feel the heat is real, infected like a fever, possessing your body, converting all the non-believers. Is this an awakening or a holocaust? Does it cause my gravitational force is that of a power horse? Your life source is fading, welcome to my dark. The year embark with bass sharp and chase it to my benchmark. You're racing higher and higher, feels like you're losing. My fire's your desire to get your body moving.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back for a little bit more Counter-Strike action. My name is Kieran. I'm here to bring you a lovely best of 3 between GGPR Esports and UYU. I'm not sure if it's UYU Esports or anything like that, but I'm just going to go ahead, keep it simple, call it UYU. Now, this has been probably one of the more interesting games on the docket for ESEA Advanced Playoffs. It's the first one, as you would imagine, so we're really in the early days when it comes to actually seeing these two teams face off. But UYU had a really tough regular season, just barely inching into Advanced Playoffs, but you would never be able to tell with how quickly they got off on this pistol round. Already, it's gotten started with 3 kills being found just a couple of seconds into the round, going to make it into an A split. And while there is a bit of a gauntlet awaiting UYU once they actually get on site, because they have 3 more players on GGPR to disperse of, this is a really good start for them. And again, as I mentioned, for the regular season, UYU got off to anything but a good start. They were losing a lot of their games, sure, in close fashion, but losses nonetheless, and only scraped by with a 10-6 record. GGPR, though, with their late game dominance, will always find a way to get their way back into this round. It's a complete and utter massacre over towards the A-long area, and there you have it. 4 kills found, 0 players down towards the end on that retake, and GGPR with a flawless execution will go ahead and take that first. Oh God. If you wanna try using metaphors to think of this game, you can go ahead and argue that, that round was basically the sheer opposite of what these teams dealt with. UYU got off to a rough start, but had a really wonderful finish in the regular season. Then GGPR got off to a wonderful start and then had some rough patches towards the end. But 12-4, I believe, was the regular season record for GGPR, and 10-6 for UYU. So at least GGPR have the advantage of, well, the higher seeds in this playoffs bracket. So on paper, GGPR should be able to take this one, but again, with UYU at least showing up to find those initial kills on the pistol, maybe they can make something more out of this. To finally ground ourselves back into this game, you notice that you see a force on the UYU side here. They made that round relatively close. I mean, they got the bomb down plus a couple of guns. They can damage a GGPR economy if they're in a good enough spot to do it. Exotic, who's holding right around mid, will peek out alongside Low Rider and find 3 kills. And yet, it's more devastation for UYU. This force-up cost them everything that they got. They're going to be just on pure scraps, really, if they don't somehow manage to clean out this round. Beastman, who is stuck in 1v4, has managed to pick off a couple with his Galil, so it's a bit more money in his pockets. But really, at this point, you're just kind of hoping he can maybe get away with a win. UYU needs to make it a quad if he wants this, but a double commit out is really strong from GGPR. They'll defuse the bomb, and they'll go ahead and take that round for themselves. So the second round, which is always one of the scarier parts of this game, is gonna securely go the way of go the way of GGPR. Hamtaro saying thick MP5 action. Dude, for real, it feels like we just don't even get to see the MP5 that often. Now I know there's plenty of people who say that it's like really bad, but it's such a good fun. It's like the most fun gun to use. I don't care what anybody says. Into this next one we go, UYU, because they forced in that last one, will have basically nothing to speak of. They're just going to go for a quick mid-B split here, which I think is a wonderful idea. There's a couple of flashes through, but they don't close the distance that well versus Low Rider, and he's able to bunker down in over towards the box area and allow his teammate to maybe find a couple of more kills. It's a bit delayed, but they do come through nonetheless. Polo has made it down to a 1v2, but his teammates were all dying around him. He is not exactly doing that much better. He's hurting real hard, only on 6 points of health. And against team members, all of which seems to be going their way, all the health that they could ever hope for. Makes this a nigh impossible task for Polo, but he's one of the more interesting players in UYU. Maybe he can show it off right here. First dink is going to be his, but the kill isn't converted yet. And that won't be the case even if. The only chance he had was an AK, I think. He just can't do anything, I mean, he can't exactly afford to commit to that kill. He needed to find that conversion right there. And Civ, I mean, It's just kind of crazy that he was able to. Okay, looter, bro. That's messed up, bro. GGPR. They've gotten the free rounds, but they made it at least relatively competitive. The money is still hurting pretty hard on the GGPR side. You see Lowrider still has to go ahead and pick up a scout, and then you'll see some brutalization over towards Long A. As kills are traded left, right, and center, seemingly the CTs will be on the back foot. It takes a little while. There's a really deep commit in from George. Surprised he didn't die sooner, to be honest, but he never had the time to cross over to pit or anything. Just kind of stuck out in the open, and that'll be basically free kill granted to UYU. Push onto the site, so very similar to what we saw in the pistol round, only with a little more rifles in the mix. Might make things a bit more lethal. Lowrider actually crosses both. That's actually kind of absurd how GGPR are able to close that one out. Really? That's how they finish it? I mean, we'll gladly take it. I am a little bit biased since, you know, this is GGPR's channel, but I'm surprised the scout actually did that much work. Lowrider is going to get a much needed, much deserved upgrade to the AWP, but I'm surprised the scout actually did that much work. We'll take those. Top mid contention is going to be weak. Tatum will be dead almost immediately as the round begins. And entering number 5, I mean, UYU, they forced up. They have to take a couple of hits. You see Beastman is on the scout, but I suppose if Lowrider can go nuts with it, what's stopping him from going nuts? He's actually picked up the AK of one of his comrades, so at least making that gun that TATM had go to good use. But quick split up over towards Catwalk seems to be exactly what the doctor ordered, as UYU are once again granted a couple of more kills, just really pressing W onto the site. And seemingly, that's all you have to do at times. This is a really difficult post plant too for GGPR. I mean, they have a kit, but they only have a single flashbang, and this one's going to have to be pretty crazy. Just goes out over towards long, not going to buy them space, not going to buy them time, but it might buy them a couple of kills if they're lucky. George Snorts has done exactly that. I, again, don't understand how. GGPR have once again found their way back into this round, into this game, and Polo will have to go ahead and convince me otherwise. But ducking underneath the shots, George Snorts, I'm pretty sure has time to get on the bomb and defuse it, but it is down to the wire. Oh, George. I wish we could have just kept the camera on him there, but Auto Director had different ideas. Went absolutely massive. That's a good enough finish for him. 5-0 as GGPR continue to stay flawless. And I'm not 100% certain, but I believe this was picked by GGPR as well. It's kind of hard to find the picks bands. You know, considering, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use my best estimate to believe that UYU are just not exactly fond of D2. What is this? They swapped spots, and still Lowrider gets the kill? Oh my god, there was no way he should have gotten that. He's going to find even a little bit more. There is some competition in over towards B tunnels, but it's not going to amount to anything. GGPR, can you chill for a second? I'm still a little bit baffled about how low... Call a pause. Now's a good time for it, because how did Lowrider... He was running through the smoke. That should have been by all means a free kill. Feels like it's been forever since I've seen a weird scenario like that. So what? He was like... Here, let's go ahead and use the visualization of the in-game camera. So he was running out of the smoke right here. And then in response to the shots, he straight up no-scoped by flicking right. That's... this game is already getting off to a crazy start. It's been flawless for GGPR so far. So, you know, I can imagine, we can hope that this will continue. This will be the round that UYU basically have to give up. And exactly, Hamtaro, that's exactly the word that I was looking for. We need a moment to digest. That was against guns, mind you. If he can do that same exact thing versus pistols, then he's going to be fragging hard. The spray down is there, but it's not going to be successful to find any damage until a second foray into it. Polo, down to cripplingly low HP. He only has a deagle and flashbang to his name. thing is, I don't even think Lowrider will need to go off. The rest of the team seems to have his back in case of the worst possible scenario. Civ playing from this off angle. Might be good for 1 kill, then probably back up into CT. That seems like his protocol of choice. Oh, but he hears all the rushing coming up towards him. Civ, if he gets more than 1, that would be amazing. Hell, he's going to triple, make it 3 kills. No way it's going to be an ace! Civ, he dismantles of the pistol members. That was a spot that I would have called 1 and done. What? Again, this game keeps delivering. I'm not ready for these moments. By all means, he should have been traded out. That was a really uncomfortable position for him. Look, okay, again, to be fair, that was against pistols, but still enough to make me excited. Still flawless as ever from GGPR. As through it all, there's an ace in the mix somewhere. Polo looking for a solo play. We'll just go ahead and gather some mid control, but really the big emphasis is over towards B bomb site, where both Lowrider and Civ will lose their individual fights. Polo finally is able to get a good frag over at mid, and hell, he'll make it double. It's looking like the end of the flawless streak for GGPR, as UYU have responded in a really dominant fashion. Okay, so they're finally online. Takes a hot second. But, I mean, at what cost, you know? I mean, still 2 guns down at the end of it. The T economy is still really brittle. If GGPR somehow managed to respond, they actually would have a really good chance at breaking the eco of UYU. Civ is holding with an op, but it's good that he's backing here. Absolutely no choice but to do otherwise. Exactly that. But there is a push back onto the site from the op user in question. Plus, there's also a push through the smoke of CT, none of which are really going to matter because Civ is doing all the work alone. He's found 4 kills. Don't tell me it's another ace! How? Civ, can you chill? He's 18 and 3. We're only 10 rounds into this. Civ, I know you were my player to watch. I know it. You don't need to make me repeat it. Luna, you're right. You're right. It is Vic. But, I mean, Victor, he's staying true to his name's origins. Victor comes from the word victory. You can definitely tell he is looking for that big dub. I'm screaming my lungs out and we're already 10 rounds just into map number 1. And as I said, GGPR, they haven't exactly broken the eco of UYU as I would have thought, but it's still very, very dire. By no means are UYU exactly front runners, even to pick up a couple of more rounds, much less this one. But if they get it, they can definitely consolidate it into something a little bit more. Civ, surely you don't try to make it 3 aces in 1 game. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have to turn off the stream at that point. Luckily, Lowrider will make it so I don't have to. The rotate in through CT. And the push up, George, I think he might have spotted Poseidon backing. Either way, it's going to be just about a 50-50. As UYU will choose to disperse and exit the A-bomb site. They'll go for greener pastures. Over towards CT is going to be the next destination, where Exotic will be waiting, spraying down, and finding nothing. This is the best possible case scenario for UYU, but they aren't expecting to push on into the B-bomb site off of that, apparently. The push through the smoke, everything seems to be catching the T side off guard, but as long as they win a couple of fights, they should be okay. No, they don't get anything, and so it should be another for UYU. Some strange whiffs, unfortunate moments, and some really strong off angles chosen from players like Nice. Okay. Well, UYU are finding some success with their mid-B splits, I've noticed. That's twice in a row now, and it's done the job for them. This seems a little bit difficult for them to actually find any meaningful frags from it. Civ is just going to pad his stats and not die here. That way he can maintain that 6 KD. You know, I respect it. I would do the same thing. Dude, I can't believe he's gotten 2 aces just in this game. What in the world? just unbelievable. But it turns out, third time is not the charm to win the round. Lowrider denies any ace opportunity as well. He's the only person to find a kill in that round for GGPR. UYU just kind of overwhelmed and having no problems whatsoever. When they actually try to push out and do a mid-B split, they're looking pretty good. Oh, the cross isn't watched. They're really lucky to be alive at the moment. GGPR, they've sustained heavy damage, and they only have really deagles, plus that saved AWP from Civ to show for it. And once again, the round begins with Civ finding a kill. The push into upper tons, and Lowrider can't find the kill. However, TATM, he is, well, low. He's going to be riding away into the sunset, where TATM over towards Catwalk will find one more kill. And UYU, they maintain a lot of poise, a lot of confidence as they head into the latter part of this round. Civ taking fights that he can't quite win, and then a player holding over at mid who should have their number. It's looking an awful lot like 3 for GGPR. Creed still has yet to find an AK-47 in the depths of things. And Polo playing from the Keo angle, the headshot angle on A. Tap down 1 and search for number 2. I believe Exotic, his shoulder maybe has been spotted. Either way, he's going to get out to relative safety and take a fight on his own territory. That doesn't mean he's going to win it. It's a good show. UYU, I mean, sure, you can partially say that was just because GGPR were on a really bad buy. It was kind of a deagle force, and they have to actually save for this one here with lots of USPs in the mix. But all things considered, I think they handled that really, really well. Finally starting to show that they're more than, you know, they're more comfortable than just mid-B. Oh my god, and still, hey, how? Civ with a USP wins 2 fights versus the AK. I was getting ready to say, okay, well, Civ will find 1 and then die. No, he makes it 2. Somehow, someway. Don't tell me. Are GGPR actually about to win this? That would be disgusting. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. We're fine. Civ in a 1v2. If he actually does this, I'm gonna have to take a break. I don't really see any particularly huge reason for him to try to save this. I mean, his team is going to have money regardless. I think it's just probably the best idea for him to look for exits at the moment. But if he can get this first kill, oh my god, no way. No, please. Why has that first kill been given up for free? Why are you running up? And why did that almost work? Please, can you chill? Civ is constantly making me nearly lose my mind. That is a, here, I'm just gonna type it. That is an NT from me. That's a nice try. The fact that he nearly got that was hairs away. Pip dip. Look, GGPR is good, but right now I'm thinking it's more than, it's a Civ. It's Civ diff, dude. I don't know. It's Vic diff. 8-4. So UYU are fighting back. If they get 7, that'd be alright. Not the most optimal half, but split right down the middle isn't too shabby, all things considered. I mean, again, when you factor in Vic kind of popping off every now and then, I think you can be relatively happy with any result you can get against a man who's 22-5, not even at the end of the first half. 2 aces. I still can't get over that. How in the hell is that real? He's in the perfect position. This is where he found that pistol, or anti-eco ace, excuse me, it was. It was against pistols, so at least I was right on the pistol factor. But UYU, considering their positions at the moment, probably just want to go for another mid-B split. It has been their best bet. I see absolutely no issues with them doing that, but I do see issues with Civ maybe trying to, I don't know, dip his feet in the water a bit too much. And that's going to be the fact that he's going to get absolutely crushed upon. 1 kill and nothing more. The rest of his teammates over towards B do a formidable job at least holding the line, but they're losing kills to TATM. The site will be taken. And with 26 seconds left on the clock, the bomb will just about get ready to go down. 2-on-2 means it's basically anybody's round at this point. Oh, but unfortunately, Creed. Well, this is an issue that you would never encounter at a LAN, but That is like the worst possible time for him to lose connection. I don't think of this as impossible, however. If Exotic can find TATM, the second one just would be obvious to be over towards back sight. And he was so close to doing it as well. UYU, it's another round that they get by the skin of their teeth, but they've gone up to 5. And once again, hurt the economy very, very badly of GGPR. And it really sucks too. That was a round which, again, by all means, I would have had going the way of GGPR. And at 2v2, and judging by how Exotic played that scenario, you know, I mean, I think he did the best for the situation that he was in, nearly finding both kills. The only stopping point really was the M4, it seems like, if nothing else. But, you know, forcing that kill onto the very scared TATM, the very low TATM. I'll go ahead and do them a little bit of justice. Not sure how long this is actually going to be. Aeronaut might be down like permanently, which, you know, if so, I don't even know what the case is going to be in that situation. But luckily I have a tech pause screen in case this goes on for too long. But I suppose in the meantime, we can just go ahead and talk about how GGPR have been popping off. You know what? I want to go ahead and look at those clips again, but I don't really have any scenes set up to go ahead and look at them again. Either way, I mean, the first taste AC got was crazy, but the second one, how did he even get the players coming up towards the catwalk there? That didn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know, gladly take it. Pretty absurd momentum he's riding off of. But UYU have managed to strike back. This is a T-sided map. I know Riku Star is doing the old voice crack. The terrorist-sided map. Sorry, I had to hear that. But, I mean, it really is. This game has gone a lot more T-sided as of late, so. I mean, in all honesty, I think UYU, it would be in their best interest to try to make this 8-7. I know it's easier said than done. There's a reason these two teams are fighting, but the fact that they've already had a little bit more, you know, wind behind their sails is already doing them a lot of work. It looks like Creed is back into the server. That means that we can begin the game again. GGPR with our eco broken once again. We'll have to just have a couple of upgrade pistols to call their own. And you know what? I don't exactly know if UYU want to even try bothering with mid at this point. A stack over towards mid wouldn't be crazy whatsoever, and it's something that I definitely could see GGPR doing based off of how Civ has been playing close to the door. Exotic in rounds past has done the same. They've swapped their CT setup. Civ already pushing up over towards mid. Keep that in mind. That might become a factor very, very soon. Poseidon, well, actually won't have to do anything. It's going to be Nisu spots out the player pushing up towards top mid. Lowrider going down as he tries to take down said water god. Is Poseidon the god of water? I think so, right? I don't know. I'm not a mythologist. Unfortunately, not much of anything found on this round from GGPR. Compared to some of the other ecos they had, I mean, this was just kind of the realistic expectation. But GGPR, again, they made some of these rounds incredibly close. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your view on which team you're rooting for, UYU will have a bit more of an opportunity to build up their eco, assuming they don't drop any more guns from here on out. And that's going to be much needed. Oh my god, Exotic, that was a beautiful shot. And why? Why? God, can I please stop jinxing it? Are UYU, they're not going to lose this round just because the bomb is implanted for them, and plus they don't have time. But this was their time to build up a really solid economy. Now they're once again going to be hurting, excuse me. They're going to have to maybe drop another AK. Yeah, Nice will probably drop the AK over to Polo. But this is like not at all an optimal situation for UYU. Heading into the last one of the half, I guess it doesn't matter if they're going to be able to buy up, but that's too much damage done. I mean, if nothing else, this has got to be hurting your ego, you know? We haven't even seen GGPR pop off fully yet. Once they get to the T side, that's when you can see some really crazy shenanigans go on. Lowrider to begin the round gets a kill over at mid, however. We'll back up. And the adjustment from the CTs was pretty good. They're aware that a mid B is probably the most likely scheme for UYU to adopt at the moment. But these are fights that, while they try to take them, will not be winning. Civ is going to have to go massive on the site alone, but a crouch jump shot from Poseidon will rid him of his opportunity to maybe make it another crazy round. And we're into another 2v2. This time, Creed probably shouldn't be lagging out. In fact, he's the one taking all the ante to push into the site. First teammate will go down. Beastman had absolutely no expectation of one pushing out of the B tunnels. And Poseidon, as he's caught in transition, jumping down from the site, will lose his as well. Creed, seemingly the God Slayer, will go ahead and make it 9-6 in favor of GGPR. But incredibly close rounds. I feel like, you know, if UYU had a bit more trouble closing out some of these situations, this could have easily been like 11-4 or something. So I have to say, props to UYU. They managed to close out some of these rounds securely. They had a number of good mid-round calls to bring it mid-B. That seemed to be their best bet time and time again. And sure, there was a bit of a lucky round they got because Creed lagged out, but this is okay from UYU. Still, my money is going to be on GGPR winning this one out, but I am ready to be surprised. It's a very nice number as we enter our second half. Barely a break whatsoever. Just goes to show that both of these teams just want to get started in the game, quite honestly. 4 players stacked out over towards B makes it a very easy A call for GGPR, or at least for the early game. Try to bait over rotation, find a kill, you know, the usual for D2. Stacking up outside along, they'll just burst up on the site. I'm not sure what pin they're waiting to drop. I think that's a smoke over towards CT. Yeah, that's a deep CT smoke. Wait, do they push CT here? That would be sick. No, but UYU are for reasons unknown. Beastman gets a kill, luckily through the smoke as well. But, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised GGPR didn't push up a little bit more. They get the bomb down in a 5v4, so UYU have managed to avoid any casualties for now. But the fatalities are yet to come flooding in. There should be the first from George Snorts over towards long. There it is, a quick tap. And this is when all hell will break loose. You can hardly tell who I should be keeping my eye on, but I'm going to have my money on Civ, because he's going to pop off. And no, it's everybody getting involved. It's a team effort from GGPR. Double digits and 6-10. With a pistol going their way, the momentum will be in their favor. Everything will seemingly go their way, as UYU are going to be left struggling and broke as all hell. Good time for attack pause. This would be like a good gamble on if they want to actually force up, you know? It wouldn't be a terrible idea. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we haven't seen a lot of situations where we've seen UYU pop off, but I mean, a dig buy, I guess, wouldn't be terrible here. It's kind of playing against the rounds, if nothing else. Seems that they've decided against it. What I could maybe see is... Oh, they actually have chosen force. Okay. Maybe a smoke mid and then a stack over towards A long or something? I don't know. They have a lot of different opportunities here. Maybe fast cat would also be pretty sick. It's one of the unique things about D2. You know, the fast cat, the potential mid push actually can be kind of interesting to watch. But UYU... they'll just double stack over at long and wait for the fight to come to them. Good flash in. I like that, though. Beastman is actually going to be the one to open us up. Apparently, I would have thought for sure it'd be exotic, but he is just completely shattered. Lowrider, not exactly fond of having to take this fight. We'll just go ahead and back off without trading, avenging his teammate. But UYU have gotten off to a wonderful start. That is now an AK securely in their grasp. That TATM, also who has full armor, can gladly go ahead and pick away with a couple of more members at. He's sitting over towards long pit as well, so this could be really, really nasty when push comes to shove. GGPR kind of putting all their eggs in one basket by trying to push up A. Haven't cleared long whatsoever. Plus, they haven't exactly cleared ramp either. Creed has actually found both kills. I mean, the second kill was good, but the fact that he got that shot, excuse me, into pit is crazy. UYU, as you might imagine, just have to save, but that's crazy to me. We take those. Gladly take those. GGPR will move up to 11, but it wasn't a half-bad attempt from the side of UYU. I mean, finding that first kill, Beastman did his job just perfectly. TATM was able to pick up the AK. Unfortunately, we weren't able to watch it from nor his or Creed's POV, but Creed just kind of hit a crazy shot in over at pit. But theoretically, I mean, that could have been a really good round if TATM was just kind of given the opportunity to do some work with that AK. But, you know, hindsight is 2020, and we can talk about the theoreticals all we want, but what really matters is the reality of things. GGPR, I have to say, I mean, again, they have all the momentum behind them. They should, by all means, be able to go up to 12, if not 13. 12 feels like just a given. Look at what they're up against here. Upgraded pistols and Nice, who has saved that armor. Otherwise, yeah, you're not looking at anything good. This is a really strong read by the CTs, however. Blinds will go in all they wish, and it should be a firing range for GGPR, but UYU at least have the right idea on where to stack and where to take these fights. But the fact of the matter is, GGPR is just too good at it. Nice exec. Simple as that. I mean, they don't have to overthink it. Let's have a nice little firing range over towards Catwalk. So this has been all par for the course at the moment. I haven't seen anything that would blow your mind, but this is where things can get a bit more interesting. ATM flashing himself up. Probably, I think it would be good for him to maybe try to move towards blue bin or play an off angle or something. Hell, if they want to, they could commit to maybe a double stack long. I don't know. I mean, GGPR, kind of a blank slate at the moment. We haven't seen all too much of what they want to do as part of their default, but taking long control seems to be a very big part of it. That double long setup seems to be exactly the remedy for their CT woes as they look to completely obliterate the GGPR side on this first gun round. Civ will have to try to prove me otherwise. There's one kill found. That's great, but you need more here. Polo is ready at any moment to trade it out. But the kill has evaded him. Move back up mid. And the retrieval of the only defuse kit for UYU. Obviously, they don't know this, but GGPR, if they were somehow able to get the bomb down, they would find themselves in a golden scenario. But the re-exec over towards long begins. TATM still holding from a sneaky little angle by Pit. Will remove both. And putting himself up to 4 in this round has done a wonderful job for UYU. 2 kills, both going his way. Just really strong angles adopted. You know, those first 2 kills, that was just kind of like, you know, GGPR being unable to trade and he did wonderful at spraying down. But that second, I mean, that was just a great off angle. Not something to blow your lungs out about, but my God, did it do the job just perfectly. TATM, he's not afraid of long, even though it's going to be a lot more competitive this time. Will push out and lose his life, but, you know, removed by Creed at least. They'll stay even. Oh, but I'm not liking that position from Polo. Just completely caught out in no man's land. That's a rough one to give up. Unfortunate. Luckily, Beastman has a chance to at least find 1 kill here. If not him, then probably Poseidon. The push is relatively strong from GGPR, but I felt like at least UYU had the right idea to how to handle that. That first shot being missed by Beastman really stings, however. That could have been a free kill, and then the deep commit to try to take care of him would have easily been a kill for Poseidon, and then maybe the issue would have been Catwalk, but I'm not sure what more could have been done in that situation. Just Catwalk not being watched. Simple as that. At some points, GGPR come out favorably for those straights, and we'll take number 13 as a result. So moving closer and closer to the finish line on map number 1 to take a 1-0 lead. It's looking pretty promising, but we have yet to actually seen the outcome yet. Look at the eco here. Kind of a weird territory. I think this is probably a force up for UYU. These can drop for TATM, and otherwise half armor M4 or half armor for Moss. Yeah, makes sense that they're forcing here. Very concerning, however. Nothing is ever going to be free. As GGPR, as you might imagine, will fight tooth and nail to go ahead and try to finish this as soon as possible. Long has been taken, pit already overrun. And thing is, I don't think George spots anything here. Well, obviously he doesn't, but I'm not sure if he was spotting. Not that it matters anyway. Exotic is going to do the hard part and actually find a kill. Polo, once again, going to be the first player down, and again, in a really difficult situation. TATM isn't able to trade him out, and because of that reason alone, there's not much that can be done. Great flash in, however, forces the situation onto the T end. And that's bomb that's been isolated. Another kill that's also been isolated. And this is a treat to watch. UYU fighting back and actually looking real good on their mid aggression. 3 players towards mid doors. Doesn't feel like it's often that I see that setup, but it did the trick right there. That flash, really the catalyst of it all. GGPR have an incredibly difficult scenario on their hands, but they've been in worse scenarios and have made more out of it. If TATM loses this 50-50, there's a real good chance that could be finished. There it is. The 50-50 loss. Creed now is going to be rebounding, working his way up towards mid to join his comrade in arms as soon as possible. But these are incredibly powerful angles that UYU have taken, and they're going to be good for both kills, most likely. There's a first, and no! It was actually nearly the second for George. Luckily, Poseidon will once again ground us to reality. And UYU stay alive. They stay afloat, but they are sinking further and further down into economic turmoil. They have one more goodbye in them. Otherwise, to make the obvious joke, it's going to be goodbye. But a good read. GGPR in the past have tried using Long, in other games even, have tried using Long as a bit of their fail-safe plan. But they don't push hard for it. Wow, this is interesting. I don't think we've seen this from them before. They just completely give up Long and then just literally run up towards Cat. I mean, it's not the most big brain strat in the world or anything, but it sure as hell would usually get the job done if it weren't for people like Polo or Beastman, both of which are ready for the fight. They're happy to take it, but they've taken care of one of the scariest members, Beastman, and same story with TATM. Oh my god, and GGPR just want to close us out already. I was going to capture myself, gather myself, and I would have said GGPR, they adopt strong post plans, but UYU, it feels like they're just rushing into these retakes. And since GGPR is just really good at trading each other out, not have any further qualms about putting us up to the eventual 14. Money, as you might imagine, is terrible. UYU got nothing to their name other than 2 upgrade pistols and one hell of an HE in their hands. But they've picked it up. They've directly swallowed that grenade, it feels like. Civ is eventually overrun after finding 2 kills, but a 2-for-1 trade isn't nearly good enough. UYU needs something more than that, or else Exotic will pick you off and eat you alive. It's a very quiet match point, as GGPR have been given a lot of really good scenarios. UYU just, again, falling victim to the trap that is CT economy. Go ahead and be forced to buy up everything that they possibly can against all odds. They'll have to pull off a 7-round comeback. As you can imagine, it is not very likely, but it is indeed possible. They've gone off to another wonderful start. GGPR going back to their failsafe of just run mid, or excuse me, run long A. Doesn't go too well. The contention is there from UYU. Their A long presence has, I think, all in all on their CT side, has been really solid. You know, I look back on that 4K that TATM got. That was great. Let's get the job there. But GGPR not to be one-upped will quickly run to the other side of the map, the B-bomb site, and get the bomb down. Lowrider is in kind of a sticky scenario right now, considering he only has a MAC 10. George, obviously, is kind of struggling to stay afloat, as he's only at 15. And hell, this is a really bad scenario for GGPR. The more time goes by, the more I realize that it's not exactly the most likely. But of all things that could go wrong, UYU managed to stumble upon every single one. It was a 3v4. 2 players were low HP, and 1 had a MAC 10. And yet still, the B-bomb site is that hard to retake, and UYU are not up for the challenge. That's going to be another round going the way of GGPR, and the first map also going to be going their way. That was a sick finish. GGPR looking really, really confident at the moment. The only thing that can maybe prove me wrong will be Vertigo. That's going to be map number 2. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, as I'm sure these players are going to be doing as well. But we'll be back within due time, so I would say don't go anywhere, but I have no idea how long this break is going to be, so use the bathroom, whatever you need to do. We'll see you soon.
devotion. They stood in the fire. Tighter than before, they still want something more. Heat dries out the skin as their patience grows thinner, thinner than before, as they want even more, as they share in this fire. They stood in the fire, burn with desire, in love and emotion. They dance with devotion. They stood in the fire, burn with desire, in love and emotion. They dance with devotion. Stood in the fire, burn with desire, love and emotion, dance with devotion. Stood in the fire, burn with desire, love and emotion, dance with devotion. Stood in the fire. can't get them out of my head. Words, these words you said to me, yeah, stop my heart barely beating, and now I'm stuck on repeat. I can't sleep through this madness. It's madness. Tame the fire, suffer to live in the ashes.
Welcome back, everybody. Map number 2 between UYU and GGPR Esports. I don't know what to exactly expect out of this one other than what I would imagine is incredible victory from GGPR. Now, in between this little game, I went to go check out the stats of UYU, and they haven't played any Vertigo. Now, I haven't checked if they played in scrims or anything. That's not exactly information I have available to me. But GGPR, they played it twice in the regular season. Once against Morning Light, and the other against... I'm going to forget the team name. It's not Spring Roll. Since we have time, this is a bit of a slower round. I will check real quick. Against HC Esports. I would not have guessed that. Both were 16-7 wins. So... I feel like we could be in for a very quick BO3 if things keep up in this fashion. If you just tuned in, D2 was an absolute stomp. It got a little bit close towards the end of things, but for the most part, GGPR had a really strong hold on the map the entire time. And now we'll be moving on to Vertigo, which, again, as we just mentioned, looks seemingly pretty good for the GGPR side. They will be starting on the terrorist forces. And now taking a gander at the setup too. It seems that maybe GGPR are a bit more poised to go ahead and go for an A hit here. This makes sense. You see a lot of A hits on not particularly pistol rounds, but definitely on rifle rounds. So it makes sense that UYU have adjusted a majority of their setup over towards here. Waiting for any flashes to come in before this setup will actually come to fruition, though. I'm going to keep my eye on Polo. He's going to be the most interesting one here, but they've hard cleared him. They've taken him out. And TATM, well, he's not going to be able to do anything. Spam through the smoke is actually pretty good, though. Bomb goes down over towards default. But Civ and George are both pretty tagged up. So this is not going to be exactly the free lunch that GGPR was hoping for. But keep in mind, they still have 2 HEs on their hands. They could easily toss those down to UYU. They begin their push in, and it will promptly end with Creed and George absolutely popping off. 2 kills apiece. Those HEs finally coming online. A knife towards the end of it is a complete and utter disaster. Dude. I have to say, I respect the knife coming out from you, George. I respect it. He's going to show it off in the pregame of this second round. But I'm glad GGPR are continuing with their winning ways. They definitely had a ton of momentum riding in after taking map 1 in such a stomping victory. Pistol will go their way as well, but you see the force in from UYU. They're not going to give up on this yet. Force ups, I feel like, can work very, very well on Vertigo too, especially if you try to work for that A ramp control, and that's exactly what you see 2 members on UYU trying to aim to do. TATM, a bit more aggressive than his teammate, will get tagged up heavily, but exchanging a couple of shots through the smoke still manages to stay afloat. And should back off this angle now. He doesn't want to overstay his welcome. That is of utmost importance. Full flank around. Here that Beastman sees someone directly below him, so it seems pretty keen for GGPR to go ahead and try to make this into an A push, but keep in mind that bomb is down. It's going to be a massive issue. Never mind, it's actually not nearly as far out as I thought it was. Smokes will begin, and UYU are present for the occasion. The tag up. Oh, and TATM I feel like should have taken that shot. Might have actually had George. That's GGPR. They're playing it incredibly slow and should be rewarded with, at the very least, a bomb plant and a couple of guns. Oh, but TATM? A bit of delayed reaction from me there. I didn't think he'd actually find that spam on the low rider. Now things become a lot more possible, a lot more palatable, and quite honestly, very winnable. But UYU are not able to exactly force things down onto George Snorts. And him, alongside Creed, will clean up the remaining CT members. UYU, not having that force up go their way, will be going ahead and saving for round number 3. Not forcing up again. That would be too crazy. I don't think that's exactly what we need right now after that map 1 shenanigans that we saw with Civ or Vic. Just going absolutely nuclear. So it should be another quiet start for GGPR, you know, not really getting caught off guard by those second round forces, dealing with the pistols situation relatively well, and obviously they're 2 for 2, or 3 for 3, excuse me, on pistol rounds. So things are looking really, really good when it comes to those basic fundamentals. Their trades have been on point. If you watch D2, there's a number of times where UYU, I feel like, had a lot of the right setups, in particular over towards the A bomb site, but GGPR just pinched at the right times and were rewarded with pretty crushing victories as a result. Poseidon will retrieve an AK. Actually should back away with it too. Never mind, maybe not. All the good points that I'm trying to go ahead and, you know, keep up as a possibility for UYU to drag themselves back in this round are really not working out for me. So their results will be a singular AK-47 and a whole lot of hope that they can make something more out of it. 3-0 start, and very, very great for GGPR, but they'll have guns, both of these teams. Things can get a little bit more dicey now. This is obviously where things get more interesting, a bit more spicy. And how do GGPR choose to adjust to it? A-ramp control, yet again. Have the bread and butter for every Vertigo team in the world. This time it's not going to be as easy as they would have hoped. Polo holding that close angle should be good, maybe to find 1 kill. Very much a one and done position if it's not being hard checked for. Of course, Auto Director wants to look away from Polo, so no, I'm going to go ahead and take over. Apologies for the T-Tours issues. But it looks like we haven't missed all too much. 1-for-1s again across the board, GGPR. I'd still say have the lead here, just based off of util and HP alone. It's of utmost importance that George at least spots out and gives some info that maybe Elise could be holding around the angle, but he's pushing through the smoke. This is really cheeky. It looks like he decides against it, and that probably would have been for the best too. That smoke was just about to dissipate and give up the ghost. So another retake will have to begin, but they need to move quick, UYU. It's a missed flash to begin it, and I feel like that's going to be a bit of a show of form for what I can expect on this retake. Holding close, will push right in and fall right to Exotic. Alongside him, Civ will be there to trade out 1 more kill. A 2-piece for either team member. And Lowrider, not going to be able to come online either, but at least we have George, who'll get that last. It's hard to keep optimistic about this. UYU, again, that was their best possible point of entry into this game early on. Now they're going to have to once again save. And while they do have a good idea on a setup by pushing mid, I don't think it's actually going to amount to much of anything. Exotic spamming the angle doesn't get any notable chip damage. Gets some, but again, not enough to write home about. Oh, George. Wait, he's going to farm. George is actually going to farm. Yeah. George and Creed together, I should say. Not the most exciting, but I gotta say, you know, I appreciate the gimmick that you're going for there, UYU. I appreciate it. All crazy plays can either go crazy good or crazy bad. And I think you found out which one that is going to go towards. Another buy, UYU. This time they've actually spent enough money to get couple of kits in their grasp. I think it's going to be important for them to have that. That was one of the big sticking points last time we saw them on rifles, just a couple of rounds prior. But it's of utmost importance that they don't lose this AUG very early. AUG can be pretty crazy on Vertigo here if you hold the right angles. But that is not one of them. Civ, who's undeniably the MVP of map number 1, dropping, I believe, 32 or 33 kills. We'll go ahead and get off to another 6-0 start. And searching actually for a 7-0 start. Unfortunately, with all the scouring he does, he won't be awarded with a kill. But his team and maybe even the enemies will all get involved. Through the smoke, Beastman doesn't have to see to believe in a kill. And George will just kind of jiggle, dance around his teammates here. But UYU are not in a dancing mood. They're in a killing mood. And Nice will do exactly that. As they removed George Snorts. Time is of the essence, but this has to be a save. George, even though he died, has bought more than enough time for GGPR to not only bunker into more comfortable post-plant positions, but again, just straight up burn some time off the bomb. There's nothing that can be done. UYU just really need to hold on to these guns lest their economy gets even worse than it is right now. Because for right now, they can force up 2 M4s and have another comfortable buy in their hands. But if they lost even 1 or 2 guns, then you're probably going to be seeing a half buy at best. As I mentioned, though, you will see all M4s. So we avoid that very, very present danger. Yo, Nick, at the top of your screen, it should say GGPR won first map. It was a really good map, too. It was like, it wasn't like good when it comes to how close it was, but some sick plays. GGPR were able to run away with that. I want to say 16-7? I don't remember. It all feels like a blur to me. I feel like this is going to be a very normal pattern, as GGPR do not even look the slightest bit worried about UYU's potential guns that they have in their hands. I mean, they are just straight up dismantling. 2 kills off the back of basically nothing. And really, UYU can't do anything. I mean, they're fighting back. They're trying to take these fights, but they're not going to be nearly enough. It's a flawless one. GGPR just crushing it at the moment. 7-0. And yeah, no problem. Nix. Is it Nick or Nick X or Nix? I don't know. I'm just going to say Nick. I've known you for so long, and yeah, I still don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce it. This is rough at this point. UYU, you know, I think they have some wonderful individual players. We saw TATM hold down long A on Dust 2 very, very well, but I don't know. I mean, it just seems incredibly difficult for them to make any headway. And then when there is any headway, when it comes to map information and map control, is quickly snuffed out by a player who's only known as Exotic and who has what looks like a generic Steam avatar. These are shots that cannot be missed from UYU. These are kills that by all means should be theirs. But George, don't tell me. Don't get both here. Okay, good. At least TATM will eventually get his just desserts. 2 kills, both of which weren't exactly the prettiest, but that second one sure as hell was pretty cute. UYU, no more saves. It's pronounced as Nix. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I figured. I just wasn't 100% certain. Next time I cast one of your games, even though I'm not sure if you're still retired, I'll go ahead and call you Nix. Poggers. Just a flurry of nades in at mid. Exotic. I can't. He should not be winning those kind of duels. This is what I'm talking about at some points where it's just, you know, the confidence of GGPR is so, you know, it's so obvious. You can just kind of see how confident they are to take these kind of crazy fights over towards mid. You see an ego peak too from George. Unfortunately, that close angle that he's jiggling is being watched like a hawk by a player named Polo. He will now go ahead and dress up nicely for the occasion, because thing is, he has a date with a retake on the A-bomb site. He's not dressed for the occasion. 2 kills, blisteringly quick, found by Civ. The site taken, and number 9 taken from GGPR. Civ should not have also found that kill. I mean, it's getting absurd at this point. UYU have yet to really do anything. Again, keep in mind, during the regular season, GGPR played Vertigo a total of 2 times. Once against Morning Light and once against HC Esports. They were both 16-7 wins. And I don't exactly know who the vetoes were, but I'm judging based off of the starting side for both of these teams that, you know, this map was picked by UYU. They have some cool ideas, but straight up just cannot win a lot of their fights. And I think that, as obvious and as much as I hate how much of a cop-out answer it is, it really feels like that's a big difference. You saw a number of times where, you know, Polo at least was able to get a couple of trades at mid, but sure, cool, you get one at mid. What happens to A ramp? where you just get bursted through and taken down by Creed and Civ over towards on an entry just with a single flashbang. At what point does a dam break and UYU just give up number 10? It's more forced up pistols. It's not going to look any better. But maybe for round 11 they can gather themselves. As round number 10 is already looking like a wash. TATM, the first victim. First of many, I should say. And a regroup from GGPR to completely avoid the A bomb site. This is a smart move. All the time, CTs will try to stack A, as they know it's the most likely scenario for CTs and Ts to both trying to gather up against. Being a bit more resistance than I thought, however. These Deagles are proving a bit tricky to deal with. They aren't as clean as I would have imagined. But they're found nonetheless. Nice in the most impossible 1v4 that I've ever seen. Doesn't even get the first. But that is okay. UYU, I mean, pretty much at this point, 10-5 would be a miracle. I don't think I'm going to be counting my lucky stars for that, but another full gun round here, a double AWP setup, which I really like. I was just about to think, like, you know, UYU, do they want to extend for this? I want to see where these both are going. Beastman probably going to be set up aggro on B? No. We're playing it passive again. There is Nice pushed up mid, I suppose, but this hasn't exactly been the hotly contested area of choice for GGPR. It's really been B and A ramp respectively. As you see, that's the case here too. Already pushed up nearly towards the site. This is really, really bad. UYU are giving up so much map control. They're really banking that the retake is going to do the work here. Bomb retrieved and brought over towards the A site in question. It'll be a late arrival. As you see, UYU have already managed to go ahead and consolidate all their members over. Civ. He has absolutely insane eyes. I don't know. I don't feel like I would have saw it in that situation, but hey, that's why you don't use left-hand view models, I suppose. Beastman. Maybe if he gets 2 kills here, there's a chance. Wow, that's one hell of a shot to get us started. They need to go for this, UYU. It's this or they give up 11 rounds without finding a single one going their way. But unfortunately, all that glitters is not gold. And once again, I feel like a broken record at this point. GGPR, they run away with it. Now at this point, 11-4 feels like a miracle. I think, honestly, we're looking at a potential 14-1 half. 13-2, maybe? Who knows? This sure as hell isn't going to be the way that UYU get back into it. Their pistols have shown absolutely, you know, zero signs of being able to stop GGPR, which, I'll be honest, GGPR were one of my my higher teams to make it deep into this ESEA Advanced playoffs, but they are delivering on a whole another level at the moment. There are a couple of shots going the wayside, and there is actually a nice boost from UYU. This could be good for at least 1 kill. Doesn't try to overstay it. And of course, the caster's curse. As I say that there shouldn't be a chance for UYU to pick up this round, this is their best chance they have gotten probably this entire game. In a man advantage situation, Exotic will be penetrating the flank. Great word choice from me there. Finding 1 kill. We're now even. The bomb rotated all the way around towards B, has absolutely no shot of actually going down before Exotic can get involved with both kills. 4 kills for Exotic in that round, I should mention, and a still spotless streak that GGPR have been able to come up with. When your lowest performer is low rider, that is when you know you're having a good game. Let me just put it that way. He is just straight up dismal for the UYU camp. Let's see who's a top ADR member right now. Beastman at 63. Rough times. Really, really rough times. I mean, honestly, again, I still feel like the biggest problem, the biggest issue that I'm noting is the fact that it's really just, oh my god, I mean, GGPR just feels so much more comfortable on this map as a whole. Sure, it's T-sided, but, you know, in a number of scenarios, it's just been really good mid-round calls that have done the job. Dark is saying 16-0, and quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. GGPR pistol rounds are strong, but I think that's UYU's best chance to get their first round on the board. Or this one right here. They made it close with the Deagles in number 12. Try to impress us again. I know they can do it. These players have the skill. They made it to playoffs for a reason, but you would never be able to tell with how, again, it has gone. Creed was looking to find a triple. Unfortunately, will be removed from the round before he is able to make a dot clip worthy round. But his job has been done. The fate has been sealed for UYU. It's surely another round that falls by the wayside. Rotates are long and arduous towards B, but still, GGPR are present. It's a long and arduous task, and one hell of a hike to actually get over here, but GGPR, they've already run laps around the site by the time UYU finally get to the site itself. A retake will begin, but again, I'm not exactly counting them in it yet. If they don't find a kill very, very soon, probably just save your guns. They're thinking about it. Another resmoke. Yeah, that's got to be the nail in the coffin. There's a nice one on the way out, though. So at least CATM has that going for him. But when your silver lining is you get to save 2 guns, that's how you know things are not exactly looking great. This is dominance on a whole nother level. I've said before, I'll say it again. This is usually dominance that you have to go to very niche websites to find for free. Right now, GGPR are just giving it to UYU free and publicly. Crazy stuff. Vertigo is looking like their map for sure, as GGPR will start pressuring mid with 2 players for the first time, I think, this entire time. These will be adopting a very neat off angle. He just backs out. He's done his part. He doesn't want to take any fights. God knows UYU can't really afford that with their success rate with the duels. But when they do take fights, it will be on their own behalf. A quick boost up over towards A should catch out Lowrider as he's entering the ramp. But what is that movement? I don't think anybody could have expected what Lowrider was doing there. A little bit of team damage, not quite the team kill. And this is really how it ends for GGPR? With a whimper and not the bang of UYU? I always think it was UU. Why? Wait a second. This is winnable. Why? Why is Lowrider actually able to win this? He's had such a quiet game, hasn't had to do anything. Yet these are 2 fights that he could basically just isolate because he has an op. Flashes in. He needs to get this, so. Yeah, no, this is it. It's the end of the line. No more 16-0. Dark, I can't believe you jinxed the 16-0 to Dream. It's not going to prove to be possible, true, factual, or anything other than 1 round. But, look, don't bring out the balloons. Don't bring out the party favors. Don't say congratulations, UYU. You have picked up a round, because we're a long, long way from home. Sure, the 16-0 Dream might be dead, but the 14-1, my prediction, actually is still possible. The buy is pretty shambolic from GGPR. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm sorry. GGPR are angry. I was going to say the money is bad from UYU, not GGPR. No, look, they're angry at this point. GGPR literally just rush B, no stop. Straight up. Okay. Well, I don't think GGPR gives this one up. Wait, do they actually? Nice just runs through the smoke based off of that flashlight he got from his teammate. Oh, okay, there we have it, right? No. Oh my god. GGPR, you made this into a 4v5. This isn't like you at all. Are you guys sick or something? You should never lose a round like this. But the bomb is being tapped. That angle, however, is being watched. Really strange times. And Polo's just going to jump off the map. He's ending it all. What a weird round, honestly. I'm liking it. 13-2. Wow. I mean, can you get excited? Because I'm having trouble doing it. Small little halftime break before we get into the second part of this game. I'm not going to say second half. If it gets to the halfway mark, I'm going to be incredibly impressed. And Flippy, look, I'm sorry. It was last second. I didn't have time to find an obs. I should have. You're right. You would have done one hell of a job better than me. I'm just showing off my 5 flybys that I have for Vertigo. So enjoy them, everybody. But let's go ahead and, let's talk about the game a bit more. UYU, what did they show of substance that actually makes me want to believe in them? If you're a UYU fan, what would give you the confidence? Because I think on paper, they have very skilled players. Towards the end, they're really strong on their flash plays. Take a gander at that retake on round number 15. That was strong. I don't know. I mean, I'm not exactly going to go ahead and call it for either team yet. Let me just put it that way. UYU showing that they at least have a pulse in this game in those last 2 rounds. We're just a long, long way away from being able to actually say, GGPR. It's all yours, homie. Lunar's saying to call it. Okay, look, I'm calling it. GGPR, they take this 16 to 3. 16 to 3. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm not going to do anything crazy. My hand was forced by Lunar. Bold, assuming they lose a round. Look, dude, pistol rounds are 50-50. You never know. UYU could just pop off sometimes. Actually, not 50-50. GGPR have been 3 for 3 on pistols. They're kind of nuts. But, I don't know. I think UYU might give up, or might take the pistol, excuse me, but then GGPR will just second round force and win it anyway. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to believe in the potential of UYU. This isn't a 16-13 or anything, but we got one more round. Dark saying, how many wins is required to make MDL? I think they have to make it to semis or beyond, right? That's how they get... Well, MDL relegation is what you mean, I'm pretty sure, right? So, I think that's top 4. Might be top 6. I think Lunar would know a little bit better than me, because he's good at this game, unlike me. We'll have to see. 13 to 2. UYU, their backs are against the wall. And quite honestly, I don't know what to believe. I think UYU still can take this pistol potentially. But GGPR have shown that they basically have an answer for every solution. Or an answer for every question that UYU have posed. But this is their best chance to get back into it. Get some wind behind their sails. And perhaps that you can go ahead and get awarded with a couple of rounds. George holding at B will only find 1 kill surely from this situation. But he's bought enough time for rotates, excuse me. And yeah, UYU, at least they make it competitive. This is a very winnable clutch from TATM. Keep in mind, both of these players on GGPR are practically on life support. But is he going to pull the plug? So flash in. Oh, this is such a risky plant. GGPR. Do they push off of it? No. They realize it's a fake plant. This is smart. TATM, he's trying to close the distance, and he'll get both. See what I mean, Lunar? UYU can sometimes come out with a pistol, but what I'm expecting here is that do GGPR. Do they go for the big, the big schlong? I'm not sure if I'm, okay, the big energy play and try to force up for the second round? The answer is a yes. Look, I'm not going to say I'm an analyst or anything, but I feel like I've seen this storyline before, homie. GGPR. We're forcing the situation. No, there's no smoke. Don't go down there. Are you crazy, Lowrider? What are you expecting? Hello? Oh, my God. That was so risky. I'm surprised he doesn't get shot at or anything. I just got to let him go. This would be a really good moment to have you on the cam, Slippy. Right now, action might just happen over at A. This is such a crazy angle that Lowrider has taken. I haven't seen this one in forever. I honestly forgot it existed. Oh my god, he's hairs away from being able to see people. Is TATM actually watching for this boost? He is! Oh my god, but the MP9 just crushes his dreams. Another strange turn of events. Still not impossible for GGPR to overcome and maybe win this out, but it is not looking likely as time goes by. Lowrider gets 1 kill. No way! No way! The collapse is actually happening. This can't be real. Nice and Polo both pushed up on and are taken down by the UMP wielding George. And there you have it. 14. I am an analyst, everybody. I mean, look. ESL, if you're looking to hire somebody for IEM, just gonna say, I mean, I'm here, I'm open, and I really shouldn't be analyzing, but 14-3, UYU, once again on the back foot, but if there's any side where Deagles can actually be made successful, I think this would honestly be one of the best situations, you know? This is still like an okay scenario for UYU to be in. Now, big picture, no, obviously it's not. They're just about to lose, but with pistols and already finding 1 kill, sure trade it out, but this is a winnable scenario if they can try to maybe overrun the B bomb site or something. It's not going to be the case. I'm just always an optimist, I suppose. Just cruel victory. He's had a very quiet game and also has a picture of one of the most annoying characters, I think, in Hunter x Hunter. Will just die very quickly. Like a certain member of the Phantom Troop. Bro, are you saying... How is he the best, man? He has some cool moments, dude, but... He is by far, like, one of the least stands out. I don't know, man. I'm just not a big fan of Corello. Wait, is that his name? Corello or something like that? I know it's like some biblical sounding. I don't know. Anyway, potentially the end of the line. UYU, as you might imagine, will just try to force it in over at A. This isn't going to be all too successful. GGPR, they're wonderful at these changes of pace. If Dust 2 didn't go ahead and show you that fact, I don't know what will. Perhaps it's going to take George Snorts going even more massive this round. Maybe he'll take a spray transfer. Maybe he'll take rotates. But either way, you're going to be convinced that GGPR are going to take this series in a very clean 2-0. Polo, I think, is just about done. He's just going to end it. Yeah, look. Lowrider, he's done. GG. Polo's had enough. Wow. I mean, what more can you say in that situation? It's just domination. GGPR. Look, I was expecting them to win, but I wasn't expecting them to win like this, you know? They just looked really, really comfortable. I mean, I'm genuinely lost for words at some points. I'm really loving it. 0-5 to 10-6. UYU deserve to be in playoffs. That's exactly what I'm thinking. They started out losing so many games, and they're really close games too, UYU. They had such an incredible, latter part of the season. And they barely squeaked by. Imagine if they kept up that performance that they had in the latter part for the first half. You probably would have seen them as one of the higher seeds. I don't know. I mean, I think they deserve to be in playoffs. I don't know. Definitely one of the lower seeds. As you see, they are no match for the side of GGPR. And my God, that was just, again, crazy. I think total, they got 11 rounds between those two maps. Absolutely crushing. Show us Hamtaro Pro highlights. Here, I'll go ahead and show the video. Oh wait, doesn't seem to be playing. Darn. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna go ahead and head out. If you enjoyed this cast, please feel free to follow me on my Twitch or my Twitter. Both are at ETOKP, that's ETOHKP, and also follow GGPR as well. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Hamtaro. Speaking of which, sorry I couldn't show off your pro highlights. It's just that I think the file was too big. It doesn't allow 1 terabyte files to be played through OBS, so I think that was the reason. Just the file's too big with all your crazy clips that you've gotten. 150 ADR for George, by the way. That just kind of feels exactly what I would have expected. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. And I hopefully will see you soon, but not really sure. Peace.